Aquarius, March energies are upon us. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Shalom all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for the month of March for Aquarius. And Aquarius, this is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, or if you are a person who has an Aquarius in their life that they love. What a great way to stay up on what they're going through to help you navigate the waters with them this month. So we are going to be pulling an overarching theme for you today from the Sacred Creators Oracle deck from Chris Ann. And today the deck that screamed to me is the Villains Tarot. Of course, this is a Disney, and it's just a lot of fun. So why not, right? Without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, and as I am shuffling up here and getting an overarching theme for you guys, happy to announce that after 11 years, YouTube has finally deemed me worthy enough to offer some memberships to my subscribers. So if you are so inclined and you'd like to keep the conversation going, feel free to click the join button, become a fabulous phoenix. And, there are 3 different tiers. See which one floats your boat. Would love to connect in that way. Okay, cozy up with risk. All right, Aquarius. So here in March, I feel like there's going to be kind of collectively a lot of up and down energy. There's going to be a lot of stuff that is going to make your skin crawl a little bit. It's going to make you feel a little uncomfortable with your choices, with your decisions, with the decisions that you're faced with making. You know, I often say, like the 2 of Swords, it's like the choice between shit sandwich A and shit sandwich B. Nobody wants to eat a shit sandwich, but sometimes we have to just make a choice to get through it and onto the other side so that we can move along. And that's what I'm kind of feeling is sort of the collective energy. Now, how you're going to respond to that collective energy, I'm hearing that your secret sauce to getting through all of that energy is to cozy up with risk. And this doesn't have to be, I'm going to gamble away my mortgage payment or my rent payment risk. This can be calculated risk. But I feel like risk is your secret sauce, right? It's the secret ingredient. And what we're seeing here is almost like a fire, like a campfire. We're seeing the wood and we're seeing the fire and the flame that's coming up. So Aquarius, I feel like fire is your friend. We'll see how many wands come up in your reading in terms of that energy. But what I'm feeling right now is, fire and air, you're an air sign. Fire and air go together beautifully. Fire can't exist without air, and air helps fire to grow. And so I feel like it's a perfect pairing, and this is how you want to evaluate the risks that are coming up, and you want to use that fire energy, use that wand energy, use that passion to be able to help you to move forward and to make the decisions that are inevitably going to be coming up for you this month. Now, I don't want to say, dun, 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 you're going to have all of these decisions and oh my God, it's going to be so overwhelming. No, not the case. But I do feel that you're going to have a lot of decisions to make, and they're going to be important ones. Also, they're going to be around the collective as well as your individual life and individual choices. So there's a lot that's going to be going on. So cozy up with risk, because risk is your friend. All right, your current self in this present moment with your transformation. Where are you right now in this journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Interesting. King of Coins. You're sitting on top of the world, Aquarius. And I feel like, not that this is a dangerous place to be, but what I keep seeing is, you don't want to necessarily get too comfortable, because when we get too comfortable in these types of situations, that's when the universe is like, okay, you've had your fun in the sun. Now it's time to grow. And, for better or worse, humanity has kind of been built around growing through adversity. And I feel like that's where some of these decisions are being made. But here's the advantage that you have. The King of Coins, or the King of Pentacles, that king energy is leadership energy. That king has worked hard to get to that status, to get to where he's at, or where they are at. And so that wisdom, that experience, that knowledge that has been gained to get him where he's at, you're not going to lose that. You're going to be able to apply that moving forward. You're going to be able to cozy up with risk, because you have a solid foundation. But I am hearing that this is dissolving. You're ready to move into a new venture, a new direction. And it is a direction that is going to involve risk. It's also going to involve, I want to say, personal risk, like emotional risk is what I'm hearing. For some of you, energetic risk is going to be big. It's going to be a big spiritual month for you. Kind of exciting with that, but it is going to require you to take a risk. The analogy that's come into my mind is when I started to realize, oh, this is what channeling is. I kept seeking out, like trying to understand what channeling was. And I was watching a lot of other people channeling, and I didn't channel that way. So I just thought I couldn't channel. And then when it started to happen, I was like, oh, okay, this is a big deal, but also it makes me uncomfortable because I'm doing things that make me uncomfortable. I'm making weird sounds and my hands are moving in weird ways. And, they're asking me to chant, and there's things that are coming through me that, might draw attention to myself, positive, negative, or otherwise. And so that was a little scary, but I had to take the risk to get out of my ego space in order to be able to grow and open up into it, right? So I feel like that's in essence what's going to be transpiring for you this month. So you're shifting out of this, you're dissolving this energy and really getting into, okay, there's something new that I'm prepping myself for. There's something new that's coming, and I have to be well, you don't have to do anything. In order for me to say, to accept it, to say yes to it, I have to create space in my life for it. I have to let it go, knowing that it's going to be returned to me just in a different form. The catalyst, what's fueling or hindering your transformation? Is this resistance or rocket fuel? This is the one that's standing out to me here. Justice. Okay. Aquarius, you have had an experience fairly recently where you've recognized either somebody has not been truthful and honest with you, and you've seen them like I can't unsee it. I can't unsee you. The deed is done, and I'm feeling differently about you. I'm thinking differently about you. I'm seeing all of you. Or this is a situation where you have recognized that someone has been taking advantage of you, that there has been a situation that you are having a difficult time reconciling. And I feel like the Justice card is coming through because it is going to involve a level of detachment. And, Aquarius, you're decent at attachment, right? At detachment. You can do that. You can do that pretty well. Doesn't mean there isn't a cost to you to do it. And I feel like this is the catalyst. You're like, yeah, I know how to cut you off because, you're dead to me. But when I cut you off, have I actually dealt with the reason why I've cut you off? Have I dealt with the hurt that I felt, the hurt that I was experiencing as a result of, seeing you for who you are and now have to cut you off, right? I feel like justice is coming up because it is a warning for you to be more intentional and aware when you are detaching. Don't just detach and move forward. I feel like you need to deal with, when we talk about this King of Coins and cozying up with risk. Yeah, okay, this is moving on. I'm moving out of the comfort zone and moving into the uncomfortable zone. Okay, fine. I'm good with that. But there may be some loss. There may be some attachment to this. So don't detach without actually facing the reason why you're having to detach. There may be some grief and loss associated with this. There may be some uncomfortability associated with this, but don't ignore it. Don't stuff and ignore it is kind of what I'm feeling here. Justice will be served, but who will it be served to? You need to be the receiver of that justice, all of it, for your own sake and for your own benefit. Deep root, what deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Yeah, I'm feeling dishonesty. You've seen somebody's true colors. You've witnessed something that they've done. And, for better or worse, I don't know, to what extreme this is, but there are wounds as a result of this. This is the evil, wicked stepmother, who's trying to make all of her other daughters' foot fit this, this glass slipper so that they can marry the prince, under pretense, right? There's no truth in it. But really, this is your slipper all along. So I feel like the deep wound, the deep belief is maybe like you detach so much that you're just like, okay, well, screw it. Like, I don't care about any of it. I'm going to walk away from all of it, which means I'm not going to seek the glass slipper. I'm going to just pretend like the glass slipper never existed. And I'm going to move forward. I'm going to, buy a new pair of shoes and move on into a different story. But this story is your story. This is the theme, that you're currently working through and processing and learning from in your soul journey, in your soul divine blueprint, right? So again, coming back to that detachment piece, you can detach, but you need to detach consciously. You need to understand what you're detaching from, why you're detaching from it, and you need to do the healing work as a result. So don't walk away from that glass slipper if it's yours. Yeah, it might require some confrontation. It might require some, emotional deep dive. It might require something physical that you have to, maybe like not like physically fight, but you have to kind of fight for what is yours. But when you do that, the healing happens, right? Cozy up with risk. It might be an emotional risk or an energetic risk or a physical risk or a financial risk, but cozy up with risk. Risk is your secret sauce this month. What's dying away? What part of you is falling away? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Interesting. You got the grief card, 5 of Cups. So if you face the music, if you focus on what you need to focus on here, rather than kind of like burying your head in the sand or Scarlet O'Hara, I won't think about that today, I'll think about that tomorrow. What's going to happen is, there is going to be some grief and loss. You are going to feel it. It's not going to be fun to feel it. But the point is you're feeling it. You're processing it. You're not just swift detachment and moving on and not realizing that it's saved up in your subconscious and it's still processing. No, it's not processing in your subconscious. It's sitting there. It's festering in your subconscious. It's bubbling and boiling. And the more that you add to it, eventually what's going to happen is you're going to be a pressure cooker and it's all going to come out, and it's going to come out in a way that you can't control. It's going to come out in ways that will cause you a lot more harm than if you just face the music right now. So, wow, I love that this is coming into the position of what is dying away. If you face the music, if you process what you're feeling, if you're processing the hurt, or the fear or the pain or the sadness and the loss of letting things go, you're going to feel the grief and you're also going to move on, because the 5 of Cups, 5 is all about shift, change, and transformation. And you're going to use that grief to transform you into a way that is going to be more efficient for you to work through life, more connected. You're able to make connections with other people, really true, deep, lasting connections. And ultimately, I feel, Aquarius, that that's what you're seeking out. And not that those true, lasting, deep connections are going to necessarily show up here in March, but I feel like March is the proving ground for that. We are in an eclipse season right now, and eclipse seasons are all about resets, a reset. And eclipse season doesn't care. Nobody gets off the hook. You can avoid as much as you want, but eclipse season is going to make sure that you know what you need to deal with or not, right? So I want to say, just embrace, surrender what is, pause, breathe, radical acceptance, feel the grief. Go to a smash room and smash a bunch of shit to really feel a little more space within your body, space within your soul, space within your energetic field, because space is what you need. All right, highest Phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. Wow, you've got so many cups. Okay. Well, not so many. You've got 2 cups. Where was I thinking so many cups? Oh, because I was looking at the The scales of justice, they look a little like cup shapes. That's so funny. Okay, so 2 cups. Interesting. 8 of cups. Releasing, letting go, walking away. But when we walk away, we're walking away from the past, from what is no longer serving us, and we're walking towards something that's going to be even better. I also have to say that the 8 of cups is the only card in the tarot, the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, I should say, that depicts an eclipse. So I really feel like this eclipse, as intense as it's going to be for you, it's not going to let you off the hook. It's going to, almost force the issue of, facing your fears, facing the pain to move through it. This is the highest Phoenix potential, is being able to do it and actually officially being able to release yourself from that pain and that grief. It's like emptying out the subconscious and creating space in there for who you're becoming, for the things that you want to embrace and embody and grow into. It's more intentional, it's more self-awareness, and it's less about bringing anyone else into the fold at this time that resembles who you were. It's creating space to bring people into the fold that are going to provide that true, honest connection that you are seeking and needing, and that you desire and that you deserve. The work has to be done before you can open up to that. And I really feel like connection is the key. Connection is what you're doing all of this for. And I do feel that you will get connection on the other side of this. This is the work that needs to be done. Cozying up with the risk of putting yourself out there, doing the work, feeling the pain, the discomfort, the discombobulation. You're not going to feel it forever. The only constant in life is change. So understand that I'm going to feel it as long as I feel it. And then it's going to shift up and there's going to be something new that I'm going to move into. And it's the something new that is your why. That's the reason for all of it. Okay, what is emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? Another cup. Okay, so 4 of cups. Disillusionment, despondency, delay. This also, I want to say, Aquarius, is a card that allows you to integrate and embody the lessons that you're learning. So yeah, the next step, you're going to do all of this stuff, and then you're going to have a bit of a pause, and you're going to say, well, what the hell? I don't want to have to sit in all of this for a long window of time. I want to be able to move forward. I did the work. I examined the truth. I faced the lies. I went after my glass slipper. I'm holding it now. I'm holding it. So what do I do with it now? And there's going to be this window of time where you're going to feel like the universe isn't answering you, or like the universe is saying, well, just wait, or just hold on a minute, or, there's something else. And they're not giving you anything to kind of really step into it. It's going to be frustrating. Aquarius, I want to say to you, I promise you, hear my words. Sit in it. Sit in it without any attachment to time, any expectation of how long or short it's going to take, of what is even going to be a part of the process. Just sit in it and say, all right, universe, show me what you got. 4 of cups. Okay, I'm sitting in my feelings. I'm sitting in the delay. I'm sitting in the, nothing is really lighting my fire and floating my boat right now. I'm sitting in it. And I'm sitting in it without expectation. I'm just going to sit in it. It's really hard to do. I mean, speaking as an A-type, I have a very difficult time with this. I have to A-type the shit out of doing nothing, right? But I don't know that that's necessarily the case for you guys here, as much as it's just a surrender. It's a radical acceptance that this is where I'm at right now. The pause is necessary, because as I sit in it, I get to know it. As I sit in it, the longer I sit in it, the more I'm processing, but also the more clarity I'm getting around why it even showed up in myself in the first place. So that 4 is foundational, and you are laying new, fresh foundation for yourself. Be open to receiving that fresh foundation, because it's here to help you. It's not here to hinder you. And you might be annoyed that you're not able to kind of move forward in the ways that you want. But again, You're used to detaching and just moving on. This isn't about detaching and moving on. This is about detaching and sitting in what it feels like to detach and to process immediately what you've detached from. This is going to help you. Okay, your role in this shift, you in the process. How are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Wow, you've got another 4. So you have the option. You can choose to push against this. You can choose to fight against it. You can choose to fall into, older habits or older patterns and to try and run away from it. Or you can sleep on it. You can get out of your head and into your heart space. Again, another 4, you are establishing a new foundation that is going to be more supportive of you moving forward. But this is what is required in order to establish it. You can pour the cement, but the cement still needs to cure. The cement still needs to dry. If you pour the cement and then you go and you sit in it, you're going to have a bit of a rude awakening. You're either going to get, your ass is going to get stuck in that cement, or you basically, created an imprint that's going to be there forever. And, do you really want that or not? So I feel like this 4 of Swords coming through is saying to you, this is the secret. Like, this is how you cozy up with risk. You step into your heart space and you feel everything you need to feel. This isn't about trying to analyze it in your mind. You can't fix heart problems with the head. The mind is the tool to enact the heart's wishes. So it has to come from the heart first, which is why the 4 of Cups came through. You have to sit in it first. You have to feel it all. And then you kind of bring it into that heart space and recognize, okay, I'm relaxing, I'm resting, I'm calling a truce on how I'm feeling right now. I'm sleeping on it so that I can continue the integration that is occurring. So that on the other side of this, I'm going to feel rested. I'm going to have energy to be able to deal with whatever comes through. I'm building up my resilience. Interesting. This is something you got to choose though, Aquarius. You've got to choose it. I feel like that's the test, right? Like that's the point of all of this stuff is, will she choose it? Will he choose it? Or won't they? Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it positive or negative? Interesting. Whew. Yeah. So this is a card of heartbreak and betrayal. We've already seen that with the 7 of Swords. And I definitely feel that you are dealing with, someone who showed you their true colors that you weren't expecting. And it hurts like hell. But I also feel when we're talking about this as a support system, this is about self-care. This is about you saying, okay, you caught me once. It hurts. I'm going to have to deal with the hurt. I have to face the music on the role that I played in this as well. And that hurts too. But what I'm learning by sitting in all of this is as I practice my own self-care, as I remove these swords from my heart and I begin to heal, I begin to strengthen myself. And I learn that this is what I'm not going to seek moving forward in my life. Been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt. I'm ready for and stronger as a result of what has transpired. I'm ready for something new. So I feel like the betrayal, the broken heart is the support system for you because it's encouraging you to practice the self-care, to give yourself what it is that you need in order to get strong enough to get to the other side of this. This is going to be a topsy-turvy month for you on an emotional level. The challenge for you is going to be trying to fix heart problems with the head. And it doesn't always work that way. You need the right tool for the job, right? If you only, if you have a nail and you don't have a hammer, you have an orange and a pencil, you don't have the right job to hammer that nail in, right? So I feel like this month is really going to bring about a lot of opportunity for you to really learn yourself in this way. How often do I try to use the wrong tool for the issue? How many of my issues are really heart related? How many of my issues are soul related? you're getting to know a part of yourself in a much deeper way than you have before. Don't be afraid of this. I want to say, even though, I know for me, when I hear like emotional stuff, I'm like, ugh, like every time I get cups in my reading, I'm like, oh, great. Like there's the tears and, all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, this is about you connecting to your feelings so that you know what it is that you want in your connections with others. You want other feeling people. You want other people who are compassionate and who will take the risk to do the deep dive to get to know you. Or maybe at the end of this, it won't be such a deep dive. Maybe you will be more open, with yourself. This is all designed to help you move into more of your knowing, your truth, who you really want to be. That's what it's all about. This is your choices. This is who you are choosing to become. Hopes and fears. Who are you dreaming of becoming, and what scares you about actually doing it? Yeah, you want it all. You want to come full circle. You want to feel calm in your choices, calm in who you are. You want to love yourself. You want to like yourself. You want to understand the impact that you do have on the world, because you understand that there's so much shift and change that is occurring in the world. And you want to be a big part of that. You want to be a helpful part of that. The fear is that, oh my God, I'm going to make it all about me again, or I'm going to get lost in myself and I'm never going to come out the other side of it. And I'm here to tell you, Aquarius, it's not even possible. You started off with this King of Coins. You started off with a very solid foundation. You've got the tools that you need. You might have to kind of rearrange them a little bit. You might have to kind of fiddle and play with them like the magician does, to tweak the recipe. But ultimately, you've got all the things that you need. Trust in that. Trust that you would not be brought to this space in your life. I like to say the universe never brings you to the edge of the cliff to drop you off it. The universe brings you to the edge of the cliff to say, this is what is available to you now. This is what you have worked towards. You've got the tools now to be able to navigate this next journey. And it doesn't mean that the journey is going to be, sunshine and daisies, wine and roses. Every journey has its ups and downs, but that's part of the joy of the journey, is learning those parts of yourself. So when in doubt, access what you already have available. Not about going back into old patterns and cycles, but deciphering the wisdom, the little wisdom nuggets, and taking the wisdom nuggets with you. Big shifts for you guys. Okay, your final card. This is the outcome of your transformation. If you stay on course here in, it's this one, here in March, who will you be on the other side of this journey? What is the result of embracing the full cycle of death and rebirth? Wow. I love this. 10 of Wands, rewards. It's rewards and the burdens that go with it. But what I'm hearing is rewards. A new beginning based on an already established foundation. You're moving into a new direction. Look at all of the beautiful, I just said to you, nuggets of wisdom. These are the nuggets of wisdom. These are the little jewels of wisdom that you have earned. And I see her kind of going through the forest and giving these away to people along the path that need it. I really feel, Aquarius, like on the other side of March, you're going to be leaning into a clearer version of your purpose, what you're choosing to show up in over the course of the next couple of years is what this feels like. This is the beginning of I want to say a 2 or a 2.5 year cycle. I love that the nuggets of wisdom are showing up, because you're really refining how you're going to make your impact, to leave your mark, and you're leaving your mark as you go. So you're living your legacy as at the same time as you're building the legacy that you're leaving behind. It's happening simultaneously. I feel like when we're talking about this 10 of Wands, there's also importance in evaluating, where you need to do a little spring cleaning in your life. A lot of it, you've evaluated where it needs to happen. This also indicates, okay, now that you know what needs to be cleared, you got to do the work. Like, take it that next step and actually organize, clean out and organize the closet, right? So I feel that that's coming up as well. And you'll be bringing that into April for sure. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Aquarius, that is your transformational tarot for the month of March. As always, if you need some support, you need some guidance, some direction, click that link below, book a session with me. I would be more than happy to help you out, to help you steer and navigate what is coming up. It's going to be a big month for you. So I'm here for you if you need it. Also, like, subscribe, click the bell on my YouTube channel, share this video with anyone that you feel could benefit from this type of guidance. I'm always trying to grow this channel and I can't do it without you guys. So I appreciate your help. Until I see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life, sending you lots of love and support. We'll see you on the flip side, and transform well.